Let's talk about Hermès, the brand that has mastered the art of desire, scarcity, and silence. Because here's the thing no one really says out loud. Not everything from Hermès is worth the price. And I know this is controversial, because in the luxury world, Hermès is treated like the final boss, untouchable, beyond criticism. But today, we're going there. I'm breaking down the most overpriced Hermès items, the ones people buy for status, not value. And don't get me wrong, I love Hermès. But loving luxury also means understanding it. So if you've ever wondered, is this actually worth it or am I just buying the name? This video is for you. Before we get into the list, we need to understand something important. Hermès doesn't sell products, they sell positioning. When you walk into Hermès, you're not just buying a bag or a pair of shoes, you're buying access to a world. And that world is built on three things: scarcity, craftsmanship, and psychology. But here's where it gets interesting. Scarcity can sometimes inflate perceived value beyond actual value. And that's exactly where overpriced begins. Let's start with something almost everyone recognizes. The Oran sandals. Minimal, clean, effortless. But let's be honest, you're paying a premium for that H cutout. Because if we break it down, simple flat sole, standard leather, minimal construction, and yet the price sits firmly in the luxury tier. Now, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but are they exceptionally craftsmanship compared to similarly priced sandals? Not really. What you're paying for is recognizability. From across the room, people know exactly what those are. And that's the real product, the Avalon blanket. This is where Hermès really mastered lifestyle luxury. It's not just a blanket, it's a statement piece. But let's talk honestly. This is essentially a wool cashmere blend throw with a very large logo. And the price? You could furnish an entire room for that. So why do people buy it? Because it signals a flawless world. It says, I didn't buy this to impress you, but you noticed anyway. But from a pure value perspective, this is one of the most marked up items Hermès sells, the clickage bracelet. This one is everywhere. And I get it, it's sleek, polished, instantly recognizable. But here's the reality. This is enamel over metal, not solid gold. And yet, it's priced in a way that people assume it's fine jewelry. This is where branding does heavy lifting. Because visually it feels luxurious, but materially it's not on the same level as pieces in the same category from high jewelry houses. So what are they paying for? That iconic H clasp? Again, the logo is the product. Now, this one might divide opinions. Hermès silk scarves. From an art history perspective, they are stunning. The prints, the history, the craftsmanship, beautiful. But if we isolate the product, it's silk, printed silk, at a price that sits far above comparable silk scarves in the market. What you're really buying here is heritage, design legacy, brand storytelling, and that's valuable. But it's not the same as material value. Now, this one is where things get quietly extreme. Hermès bag accessories, charms, trellis, little add-ons. Some of these cost hundreds, even thousands, for what is essentially small leather pieces, silk strips, decorative extras. And here's the interesting part. These are often used to enhance bags like the Hermès Birkin, but the irony, the accessories themselves can start to feel like a separate luxury category. At this point, you're not just buying a bag. You're buying into an ecosystem. And ecosystems are where brands maximize profits. Now you might be thinking, if these items are overpriced, why do people keep buying them? Because luxury isn't about logic. It's about identity, aspiration, emotion. Owning Hermès feels like entering a different level. And for many people, that feeling is worth the price. So overpriced doesn't always mean not worth it. It just means you need to know what you are really paying for. So here's the real question. Are these Hermès items overpriced? Yes, in terms of materials. But in terms of perception, that's where it gets complicated. Because luxury has never been about fairness. It's about desire, and Hermès understands that better than anyone. So the next time you walk into that boutique, just ask yourself, am I buying the product or the story? And honestly, there's no wrong answer. Just make sure it's your answer. Be honest, which Hermès item do you think is secretly overpriced?